and we'll be addressing another one today in this collaboration.
ProtoMario, I have come to stop you from spreading the secrets of the Pokemon world that we have kept secure.
But,
Hey Proto, I was thinking... What are you doing with ProtoMario?
I am taking this human away, to a place where he can no longer reveal the things that have been hidden from you.
But that's not... Hey, wait! Ugh. Come on, all of you! Follow me, we need to save ProtoMario! Grab my hand! Cresselia, I have finally found you! Proto, are you alright?
as I'll ever be.
Foolish human, what do you plan to accomplish?
I plan to show you that even with ProtoMario in your grasp, there is nothing you can do to stop these secrets from being revealed, because there are countless others like us. Proto, what were you last talking about?
That Cubone is a Charmander.
I see. Cresselia, let us show you how futile it is to try and stop us. So the theory of Cubone being a baby Kangaskhan is a fairly well-known one. Looking at Cubone and the baby Kangaskhan, they do seem similar.
As the Pokedex in yellow states, it wears the skull of its deceased mother. And now, if you took this baby Kangaskhan and put a skull on it, it looks very much like Cubone. Then, after having the skull on for so long, it grows and evolves into a Marowak. It fuses to its own head.
Or so you may think. There are two issues with this theory. One is that a baby Kangaskhan is purple, not brown, and the other, much bigger one, is that this skull doesn't exactly look like it would fit inside the head of a Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan does have these outward-pointing ears, but ears are made of cartilage, not parts of the skull. This is why skulls have no ears at all, or noses for that matter. Kangaskhan also has this hard plate on top of its head, much like a Pachycephalosaurus, which, even on its skull, we can see this hard protruding plate. Kangaskhan's skull would also have to be very wide to fit this plate, much wider than the skull Cubone wears.
The only reason this theory got so popular and well known is because it is an early one, and early in Pokemon's history, someone made a baby Kangaskhan sprite that looked similar to Cubone. But now, setting that aside, here is a new theory. Looking at this skull with its more narrow nature and the beginnings of horns, wouldn't it be safe to say that this skull could belong to a Charizard? Well, if that is the case, then how can a baby Charizard, or rather a Charmander, turn into a Cubone? Let's explain with an example. So in the wild, a nest of Charmanders hatch, and their mother, who has been guarding the nest, breathes fire on the ends of their tails. That fire has to start from something after all. There is no hole on the end of their tail for the fire to come out, like the back of a Cyndaquil. This flame at the end of their tail warms them up and perhaps triggers fire-breathing organs to develop inside Charmander.
But now take away the mother. Charizards are very aggressive Pokemon, and like challenging other Pokemon, even if they have a type advantage or are obviously a lot stronger. And as we see from animals in our own plane of existence, female animals get even more aggressive when protecting their nest or their young. Because of this, the mother Charizard may make an even stupider decision and wind up picking a fight with the worst possible Pokemon to pick a fight with, so it more than faints. It dies. With no mother to keep the eggs warm, she is lucky to have one survive, most likely the one at the bottom, as it is more sheltered from the cold. And its body is left there, cold. It doesn't get warmed up by its tail being set on fire, so its fire-breathing organs never develop. Its body doesn't brighten up to the fiery orange we see Charmanders at. Its mother rots beside the nest, and the baby perhaps favors the skull as a shelter, as it protects it from the wind the most.
Or perhaps, if Charizards nest in groups, communities, the orphaned Charmanders may be cast aside, rejected, and thrown into the Charizard graveyard, which of course has many Charizard skeletons. Either way, It finds shelter in the skull of a Charizard, and grows there.
Charmanders eventually evolve into Charizards, which have wings, but because this Charmander's body never received that first flame, its body isn't quite sure what to do. So rather than start growing wings, it begins to develop spinal deformities.
Being that it never learned to defend itself with fire, it learned to defend itself by the only tools available, bones. You can easily imagine why this is the lonely Pokemon, and why they are depressed all the time. It was rejected. It wears the skull of its mother, and it has to defend itself with the mother's bones, but it survives and grows.
And when it is finally time to evolve, its own head adheres to the skull, becoming one with it, a Marowak. Due to it already having a malformed spine in place of Charizard wings, it has no further evolution. Its body simply wouldn't know what to do, so it doesn't. And thus ends the sad tale of this Pokemon theory. Cubone is a Charmander that didn't get its tail lit. So you see, Cresselia, these secrets are out for people to discover. Try as you might to capture those finding them, you cannot do that to all of us. There are many people who love this world of Pokemon, and we want to uncover its history, its lore, its secrets, and more people are leading in this quest to learn more about it. And we are teaching what we learn to thousands and thousands of others who also love to learn about these secrets.
Where are you pointing?
I'm pointing at the thousands.
I see no one.
You have to look through the fourth wall.
Oh.
So please, I'm sure you have more important things to do than try and stop these secrets from being uncovered. Let ProtoMario go.
Very well. I must go and defend the people's dreams anyway.
And many of us dream to never stop expanding our knowledge of your wonderful world.
Thanks, Loxton. And thank you, dear viewers. You are all very awesome.
And you should stay awesome.
Make sure you're subscribed to both of us if you want to keep on learning more and more about the Pokemon world. I am ProtoMario.
And I'm Loxton, from Noggin.
And thanks for watching.